delivering a walk-off winner last night for the D-backs.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Just when you probably were ready to call it quits on this Diamondback season, they rally last night, complete a comeback, and take the second game of this series from the Chicago Cubs. And it's a guy who has hit all three of his big league home runs since being recalled from Reno in the middle of July. He did it again last night. His second walk-off homer of the season as the Diamondbacks rallied from being down 4-0 to win this game against the Chicago Cubs. And what more can you say? I mean, just when you think it's over, right? I mean, you're ready to call it quits on this team. You're ready to say, you know what? The Ketel Marte stuff, the gap that they've got to make up, the questions about the pitching staff. They've got the Cubs this week, the Phillies next week. It's just not in the cards. It's just too much for this team to overcome. You're ready to throw in the towel. In the middle of a game last night, you're ready to throw in the towel. Somehow the Diamondbacks find a way to win. And Ryan Waldschmidt, man, what more can you say? He's hitting nearly 300 since he was recalled on July 10th from the minor leagues. 296, the 3 homers, the WRC plus of 126. I mean, this dude is putting up some stellar numbers for a team that is desperate for guys to be putting up stellar numbers at this point of the season. And to do it as a rookie, to meet that moment last night, 2 outs, game is basically over. You're down 4-3, and he's able to put one in the seats. And the Diamondbacks, we said, can you go 3-3 against the Cubs and the Phillies and then do a lot of your damage this weekend when you play the Giants for 4 games? Well,
Ryan
1-1 so far.
This year, by the way, is one of 3 players with 2 walk-off home runs. The only player with both of those walk-off home runs coming when the team was down.
He's a rookie. He's doing it as a rookie. He's doing it as a guy who's supposed to just be a complimentary piece to Geraldo Perdomo, Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Gabby Moreno, Nolan Arenado. He's supposed to be just the cherry on top, right? He's not supposed to be the guy that has to be at the center of all of these things, but he has been at the center of all of these things since being called back up from Reno. Again, hitting nearly 300 since July 10th. And he has the big moment last night that just, it helps you keep your belief in this team. It helps you think that this team is going to fight until the last possible second. Down 4-0 last night. Clay Holmes throwing great on the other side for the Cubs. Ketel Marte still away from the team. Who knows what that's going to look like? Who knows what the pitching plan is going to be the rest of this week? Something else I want to dive into today here on the show. I can tell you who's pitching today. I can't tell you who's pitching the next 2 days. That feels like a problem for a team in August, the end of August, that's in a playoff race. I don't know how the team is going to be reception-wise to Ketel Marte when he reportedly returns to the team for that Philly series next Monday. So I have a whole host of questions about this team and what this is going to look like. And I've got every reason in the world to say it's over. I've got every reason to throw in the towel, to say, you know what, it's just not in the cards. Torey Lovullo's trying his best. These players are trying their best. It's just too much. It is too much to overcome with a month and a couple of weeks to go in the regular season. That's what you're thinking in the middle of the game last night. That's what I'm thinking in the middle of the game last night. Ready to come in here today and say, I just don't see it, guys. I can't get there. I can't put together the game plan. I think Ketel Marte returning next week is going to be a little bit of a distraction. I think the pitching plans until Corbin Burns and Zach Gallen potentially return to this rotation, Michael Soroka potentially returns off of the injured list. Getting to that point feels like it's going to be difficult. I'm worried about how they're going to get there. And oh, by the way, they're not holding on to a playoff spot. They got to catch up to some teams. They got to catch up to San Diego. They got to catch up to the Philadelphia team that they're playing next week. They're in catch-up mode with all of these other things happening. That was what I was ready to say to you today. And I still have a lot of those concerns, but how can you not look at what this team continues to do? How many times this year have we come in and said, boy, they pulled that win out of nowhere. Boy, this team should be dead right now. Should be over. And yet here we are still talking about a team in the middle of a playoff race. So I just, every time I want to doubt, every time I want to give in, every time I want to give up on this team, they just do something. They win a game they're not supposed to. They win a series that they're not supposed to, right? Think back to going into the All-Star break. They sweep the Dodgers. Nobody had that on the radar. That was the type of series that made you go, wait a second. Do I really want to be out on this team? They take 2 of 3 from the Braves. They have a big comeback, a big pitching performance, right? You're ready to say it's over. Brandon Pfaadt comes up, and all of a sudden, he's one of the best starters this team has. Something just continues to happen to this team. And I think teams that are not as strong as a group, that are not as well coached, right? And I don't mean in terms of X's and O's, but I mean in terms of mentality, in terms of the day-to-day. I think other teams would have fallen to everything that has gone on this season for this team. I do. I think teams that don't have Torey Lovello as a manager would fold under everything that has occurred this season. The injuries, the underperformances. Do we remember at the beginning of the season talking about Ketel Marte and Geraldo Perdomo both struggling? Do we remember talking about Corbin Burns and the setback? Do we remember saying A.J. Puck's not going to come back this season? Do we remember Jordan Lawler getting off to such a good start and then hitting the IL and missing months? Do we remember Zach Allen struggling all season? Do we remember moves like Carlos Santana not panning out? We remember all of these things, right? Everything that has occurred to this team this season. And yet here they still are in this playoff race, giving you moments like last night. Further emphasizes my point yesterday of, man, if you're not going to support this team, this version of the Arizona Diamondbacks, I'm not sure what version you will support, because they're hanging on. I think there was a moment earlier in the season I said, just hang on to Superman's cape while he's flying around until you can get to the end. That's what they're doing right now. It's not pretty, but here they are. Chance to win a series against the Cubs this afternoon, starting in about an hour and a half. And how different are we going to feel if they win this series, despite the way they played 2 nights ago? So Ryan Walshman just delivering a huge moment. He's been so good for this team. And to do it as a pinch hitter as well, right? He's not even as a rookie in the flow of the game. Wasn't like he was out there getting a bunch of ABs. It's okay, off the bench, kid. Here you go. Here's a moment. And he delivers, right? Jose Fernandez did that earlier this year. Not in a pinch hit spot, but he did it against Kenley Jansen in that Tiger series. They found ways to have these types of moments. And it has allowed them to stay in this race. So, again, there's a lot of baseball still left to be played over the month and a half. There's still so many twists and turns, I think, in this season. But just when you think you're ready to be out, they pull you back in. That is what the Diamondbacks, I think, did last night.
Yeah, and listen, we've said this about this team pretty much all years. They win games on smoke and mirrors at times.
Oh, it's a magic trick. I mean,
it's a magic trick.
Sleight of hand.
They had no right winning that game last night.
Zero business winning that game last night.
And they had none. They pulled it out of the depths of defeat. And in all seriousness, it feels ridiculous that Walt Schmidt wasn't in the lineup. And that's a crazy complaint to have, and it's not even a complaint, but they've gotten so many different contributions from so many different guys. And on the flip side of the Carlos Santana thing didn't work out, and a lot of things haven't worked out, and here they are. A lot of things have really gone their way. The bullpen really went their way. That could have been a train wreck, but it has pretty much gone their way. They've gotten Erod to have the best season of his career. Mike Soroka, before injury, has been great. This rotation has been overall a negative, but has found pieces at times that have filled gaps. I mean, Ildemaro Vargas started the season hitting .400 for a month and a half. Right? Like, you had these unsung heroes for certain moments. And what the Diamondbacks have done all year is win in those moments. It's the 2 walk-off home runs from Ryan Waldschmidt. We're not even talking about, by the way, Ketel Marte. There's 3 players in baseball that have 2 walk-off home runs. 2 of them play for the Diamondbacks. One of them hasn't been up in the majors all year. The other one just took his bags and left last week. And so you haven't even had guys play all year have 2 walk-offs. Like, this team has just won on the little margins. And if they can continue to do that, why not?
I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. I just don't think there's another manager that could have done this. I really don't. This is where he deserves his flowers. This is where you give Torey Lovello the flowers of. He makes a lot of mistakes. He is by no means perfect. But he has somehow kept this thing on the rails where they are even in this going into September.
Yes, they have 100%. And he deserves all the credit in the world for taking this team and keeping them on the rails. And that's why it is such a debate. And that's why Torey Lovello is pretty polarizing here in town. Because I think there are two sides to that coin where people are going to be upset of how the Ketel Marte thing has been handled for years. I get that. And I also get the standpoint that, listen, this team's had a lot go wrong and they've kept it on the rails. So I understand that the success isn't always there. I understand that the stories year in and year out with their star players happen. But they are in the mix. And right now, this team should not be in the mix. Because like we said, they went on smoke and mirrors. They pulled games out of defeat that you never thought possible. But last night was another one of them. 2 outs, runner on second base. You pinch hit a rookie who goes deep. And all of a sudden, you pull a game out. And you're back in action with a chance to win the series against the Cubs.
We're talking about taking a series from the Cubs. And oh, by the way, you ready for this? I don't know if you saw this morning. That's the 40th comeback win for the Diamondbacks this season.
Yeah, I believe that actually, it's funny enough that it does happen this way. That puts them above the Cubs by a game in comeback wins all year long.
Their 40th comeback win of the season. That leads the big leagues. A couple years ago, it was the Answerbacks. This year, it's been the Answerbacks. 40 comeback wins. They were down 4-0 after the 7th last night, 3 in the 8th, and then the walk-off homer in the 9th. And now just 1 game back of the San Diego Padres. And again, I'm going to keep shouting this from the rooftops because when you wake up every day and you see the standings, this is what you got to look at. Are the Diamondbacks within 3 games of the Padres? If the answer is yes, then this team's got a fighting chance because that's who they end the season with for 3 games. And as it stands right now, this team, this Diamondback squad, has the season series with 3 games to go. So that's what it comes down to. Do you wake up today within 3 games of the Padres? You do. You're 1 game back. So let me tell you what that means. Right now, if that series was today, the Diamondbacks win the series, they're going to the postseason. End of story. It's as simple as that. That's how important, that's how big of a moment it was last night for Ryan Waldschmidt, who, again, hitting nearly 300 in the 114 plate appearances he's had since coming back from this team in the middle of July. You want to talk about riding the hot hand? Make sure that dude is in the lineup every day because he is clearly one of your best 9 hitters. He is clearly one of the best bats you have right now, and a time where I think you're going to need a ton of offense to get this thing over the line. With the worries that I have in this rotation, you got to try to buy yourself time to get some guys healthy. You're going to have to score a lot of runs. You're going to have to put up runs on the scoreboard. And a guy that's hit nearly 300 should be in that lineup every single day.
And by the way, they get it started at 12:40 today. You got Erod on the mound, so you feel pretty good about that.
Again, a chance to win the series.
That's what it's going to be about for this team all the way through.
And then
just win the series.
Again, that 3-3 against the Cubs and the Phillies that we keep saying, just do that and take advantage of the Giants, and you're probably going to feel good about things.
You got a pretty good head start.
If you win today, you're 2-1. You just need to win 1 game in that Phillies series. And the Phillies are a team that you've kind of had their number in recent memory.
You're 11-6 against the Phillies at home since 2020.
So you've done a pretty nice job against that team. So you're going to feel pretty good about yourself. And thank goodness I look up today and I see Jordan Lawler and Ryan Waldschmidt in the lineup for this afternoon because I was ready to just lose my mind.
I was gonna be honest. We could do all the nice Tory stuff.
Well, yeah.
If the lineup came
true.
out
Fair.
and they weren't in it, I'd be like, this is an egregious mistake by Torrey. And that's where it gets frustrating. Like, why was Ryan Waldschmidt not in the lineup last night?
Yeah, but you know that's not just a managerial decision in 2026. You know that that isn't Torey Lovello going rogue and doing that on his own. You know that's not the case. And this isn't in a defense of Torey Lovello. This is just this is the way baseball works. The front office provides what they think the suggested lineup could be. The medical staff probably weighs in and says, hey, we're starting to see potential signs of needing to get a guy a day off. And that leads to this is what happens, right? And yes, does Torrey have some level of culpability here? Absolutely. But it is a collective effort that puts together the lineup every single day. It's not just one person making the decision. It's not just Mike Hazen. It's not just Torey Lovello. It's not just the medical staff. It is a combined effort that puts that together. But to your point, yes, if we saw a lineup today that didn't have the guy who was the hero yesterday not in it, that would be a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it'd be really tough to swallow.
12:40, the Diamondbacks will be back in action. A lot more Diamondbacks here on the show. Want to get back into Ketel Marte today and then the pitching plan moving forward, because if somebody's got an idea, a blueprint to follow the next couple days, I'm all yours today. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, I will tell you the one issue that is holding the Cardinals back. That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Lunch Break with Chris Schubert.
Ketel Marte, I have not been given any information that tells me that this is anything more than him being disgruntled for one reason or another and walking away from the team. Torey Lovello was asked about comparing this year in Ketel Marte not being around to last year. Torey said, well, last year I had a heads up. That's the quote of the year. The manager of the team saying, well, this time that my player just randomly walked out on us is worse than the time it happened last year, because last year I got a tiny heads up about it. Are you kidding me?
11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Motley Crue, the return of the Carnival of Sins. September 16th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. The Crew celebrates the 20th anniversary of Carnival of Sins. Motley Crue, with performances by Tesla and Extreme. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Motley Crue, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
That takes showing up. Every call, every claim, every day. AAA Auto Insurance is ranked #1 for auto insurance customer satisfaction in the Southwest by J.D. Power, 2 years in a row. And we don't take this repeat for granted, because trust isn't given, it's earned. Join the millions of satisfied drivers who choose AAA Auto Insurance. Get a quote at AAA.com/quote. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit JDPower.com/awards.
Your local Arizona Lottery retailer is full of new and exciting possibilities, because draw games just got an upgrade with more prizes, more drawings, and more chances to win. Your favorite draw games like Powerball, The Pick, and Pick 3 are now better than ever. Games start at just $1, so you don't have to pick one. You can play all 4 new and improved draw games today, including the brand new Pick 4 game. Play today at a retailer near you. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
Del, yeah. Slow-cooked pork carnitas are back at Del Taco. Simmered in authentic spices for hours and loaded into your favorite Del items. Del Taco's carnitas bring that bold flavor you've been craving. They're available in street tacos, loaded fries, a combo burrito, quesadilla, nachos, and even a big fat taco. You can't hurry flavor like this, but you better hurry into Del Taco, because they're only here for a limited time. Get your slow-cooked carnitas today, only at Del Taco. Del, yeah.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Let me just say I am not a lawyer, nor am I going to try to play one here on the radio, but I am in Southern California, and this Laker dumpster fire really is something to behold. I'm no lawyer, but I am here for this slow-moving train wreck. I can't take my eyes off it. It's just like that iconic show Succession, only in real life. I just wish the Bus family was half as interesting as the fictional Roy family, but they're not. That show was way better than this show, but that doesn't mean this isn't a good show and that I'm not watching it, because while it may not be as good, it's still way better than the Clip Show, which is running a distant third. And don't even even get me started on the Dodgers and that bleep show that is Kyle Tucker. Not to disparage singer-songwriter Randy Newman, but I have never had much use for him. However, I do agree with him when he famously sang, "I love L.A." I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
When the moments in your life are too important to miss, you can trust O'Reilly Auto Parts to keep you and your plans on the road. Our professional parts people can test your vehicle's battery and even give it a charge if needed. In most cases, we can install your new battery for free. It's just one of the many services we provide at O'Reilly Auto Parts to ensure life's best moments don't find you stranded.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Deshaun Watson, that fans, you are forced onto them by ownership. They sort of have to root for you. That doesn't mean that they will. Now, the injury and booing you, okay, you should never have that happen. Why don't you just say the following? I hope to turn those boos into cheers. I understand why they would be frustrated. I want to be able to play and show people that I can play. Don't play victim here. Like you're tone deaf.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Producer Evan, I want to play a little word association game with you, if you don't mind. Yesterday on the show, we talked about the pair of roster moves that the Cardinals made on Monday. Activating Josh Sweat off of the PUP list. They waived/cut Trey Benson. He cleared waivers. He's back with the team, although it feels like there's probably just going to be him moving on because there's not a spot for him on this team. But the Trey Benson era feels like it is coming to an end. And yesterday we talked about the top 100 picks for the Arizona Cardinals. And I kind of want to dive back into that because I think it illustrates a larger problem with the Cardinals right now. So, Producer Evan, I'm going to ask you to play along, and this is risky on my part. I didn't tell you I was going to do this before the show. So
Not at all, but I'm pumped to be playing.
I know, and that worries me a little bit because I sometimes I got to lead you in the right direction. I'm hoping that you pick up on what I'm trying to do here. But if not, we'll have some fun with it. I'm going to name a team, and I want you to tell me the first thing that pops into your mind. Okay?
Like anything about that team.
Anything about that team.
Player, way they play the game.
Whatever immediately pops to your head when I say a team name. Okay? Los Angeles Rams.
Matt Stafford.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Joe Burrow.
Baltimore Ravens.
Lamar Jackson.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, so I gave you 4 teams. You picked quarterbacks, but you went to a player first. You picked a player.
Yeah.
Okay? And you picked a player that is a superstar player.
Correct.
Okay, if I would have said Seattle, you might have said Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I think I would have, yeah.
Okay? I think if we would have gone San Francisco, you might have said Christian McCaffrey.
Correct.
Okay? You would have, that's where your brain went. When I say Arizona Cardinals, is there an answer like
Yeah, I
Joe
think
Burrow?
I think in my head, or most people, falls Trey McBride.
Okay, but it's not instantaneous.
No, it's
not
not
immediate the way
It's- Yeah.
When you draft, especially when you draft on day 1 and day 2, you're looking for that superstar. You're looking for that guy that when we play the word association game, immediately pops to mind. And sure, yes, it's a quarterback. But it also could be before this year. If I would have said Cleveland Browns, you would have said Myles Garrett. If I would have said Philadelphia Eagles, you might have said Saquon Barkley. There's a superstar player that pops into your mind. either because you drafted that player and they've become a superstar for you, or you've traded for that player, or you signed that player in free agency. But a superstar player pops to mind. And when you're a general manager, that's what you're searching for. So I'm gonna break a rule here in radio a little bit. I'm gonna kind of say the same thing I said yesterday. I'm gonna kind of do the same thing. I'm gonna read to you the top 100 picks, because producer Evan read these names yesterday on the show, but I want you to look at it through this frame now. Where's the superstar? Because to me, this is the issue with the Arizona Cardinals right now. They have been unable to draft and develop that superstar. 2023, the first draft for Monty, Paris Johnson Jr., B.J. Ojolari, Garrett Williams, Michael Wilson. Those are your 4 top 100 picks. No superstar in that group. 2024, Marvin Harrison Jr., Darius Robinson, Max Melton, Trey Benson, Isaiah Adams, Tip Ryman, Elijah Jones. I don't see a superstar. I'm supposed to see a superstar. Guy drafted number 4 overall is supposed to be the name that comes to mind, the way Jackson Smith and Jigba might be, the way A.J. Brown might be, the way Jamar Chase might be, right? But he's not. So still no superstar. 2025, Walter Nolan, Will Johnson, Jordan Birch. Not seeing a superstar in that group. And then this year, Jeremiah Love, Chase Besantis, Carson Beck. Now, the answer to this question long-term could be Jeremiah Love. He's a rookie. We're not there yet. So if you want to see the issue that is holding the Cardinals back right now, go through that list and find me the superstar. Find me the bona fide all-pro Pro Bowler. Find me the guy that is the can't-miss player that you're building this team around. Because producer Evan's right. The answer is Trey McBride, drafted by the previous regime in the second round. But that's the answer. Because the jury is still out on every other major pick that Monty has made since becoming GM. The superstar that you're building this thing around is a guy that wasn't drafted by this regime, that was drafted in, 2022? 4 years ago? 5 drafts ago? As a GM, you're not going to hit 100%. You're looking to hit probably 50 or 60%. But you're looking to have that one identifiable player, right? The one home run. In Cincinnati, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in a very short span is the home run. I can even go, Producer Evan, who do you think the worst team in football is? Worst team in football.
The worst team in football, Miami Dolphins.
You think this year it's the Miami Dolphins?
I do. I think it's by far the worst team in football.
I can, in recent memory, find a superstar, Devon Achane. In recent memory, despite being the worst team in football, I can find somebody that they drafted that is a superstar. Jalen Waddle, superstar, right? The New York Jets, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner. They had those guys. They still have Garrett Wilson. They traded Sauce Gardner for a pair of first-round picks, but superstar players that other teams covet. Who does everybody else in football covet from the Arizona Cardinals other than Trey McBride?
Nobody.
That's the missing ingredient. That's the missing piece. You look at these drafts, and it's not just the fact that Trey Benson got cut and isn't going to make it on this team only a couple years after being drafted. But if you look at it on paper, I don't have a superstar. I don't have the guy that you build around. I don't have the Jamar Chase. I don't have the Joe Burrow. I don't have the Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't have the Sauce Gardner, the Myles Garrett, the Garrett Wilson. I don't have it. The Aiden Hutchinson. I don't. And maybe it becomes Jeremiah Love, but he hasn't played in an NFL regular season game yet. And so that's where all the chips ride right now. Chase Besantis not going to play this year. Carson Beck, who knows when we see him play. So everything about the 2026 draft falls on the shoulders of Jeremiah Love. And maybe he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Maybe he's a Pro Bowler as a rookie. And maybe there we go. We've got the superstar, right? The way Christian McCaffrey might be the answer for San Francisco. Saquon Barkley might be the answer. Jahmyr Gibbs may be the answer in Detroit, right? Maybe Jeremiah Love falls into that answer, but if you want proof as to why it doesn't feel like the Cardinals have a direction, why they don't have a North Star, what are they building this team around? They have a new coach, sure. New identity, sure. They're going to try to fix the offense, sure. But they don't have a long-term answer at quarterback, and they don't have a long-term superstar really outside of Trey McBride that they can build this thing around. And that is a failure. When you've got 4 drafts, and let's do some math. How many picks is that? How many top 100 picks is that? Producer Evan, there's 3 in 2026. There's 3 in 2025. That's 6 total picks.
It's the 2024 where he is,
3, 4,
I want to
5,
say
6,
7
7. So we got
picks.
13 top 100 picks over the last 3 years, and then he had 4 in 22. You had 17 top 100 picks.
You don't even have a Pro Bowler in that, let alone, by the way, Pro Bowl, we're talking about you don't have a Pro Bowler in today's era of football when Shedeur Sanders makes a Pro Bowl.
Joe Flacco makes a Pro Bowl.
Right? Like, you don't have a Pro Bowler in there.
17 top 100 picks in 4 drafts. You don't have a Pro Bowler. 17 top 100 picks. And the best player is Paris Johnson, Michael Wilson. The jury is still out on 3 of your first-round picks, 4 if you include Jeremiah Love, although that's a little unfair. Walter Nolan, jury's still out. Marvin Harrison Jr., jury's way out. Darius Robinson, jury's out. So you have all your top picks that we don't know what to do with them. Michael Wilson's a great story. I think he's going to get a long-term extension here. Him and Paris Johnson Jr. are the 2 best players, but they're not the superstars. They're not the guys that you point to and say, yes, that's the building block. That's the foundation on the house that we're building to try to win. That's what made it to where Jonathan Gannon's out the door after a couple years. That's what's allowed Mike LaFleur to be brought in as the new head coach. So if you want to sum it up, look at these top 100 picks and ask yourself, where's the superstar? Where's the can't-miss guy? Where's the one piece? Because if you do that, that makes up for some bad ones. But when they're mostly all bad, and all of the day 1 picks are mostly bad outside of Paris Johnson Jr., that you are digging yourself too big of a hole to get out of. Because not only do you have to get the superstars, but you have to dig yourself out of 4 years of not getting really anything of value. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it looks like he's going to return on Monday. Should the Diamondbacks welcome him back? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Jim Rome Show.
NFL players getting their release from the NFL and going back to the college ranks. It is absurd. However, it is not a sign of the apocalypse. It does not mean that all of a sudden now thousands of guys will be going back to college because they found a judge, a friendly judge in a friendly state, and they got what they wanted. That's not what that means, but it doesn't mean nothing. Is that convoluted? Do you know why? It's freaking convoluted.
1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday here on KDUS AM 1060.
I got your picture, I'm coming with you, dear Maria, come in.
All-time low at the Arizona State Fair, Saturday, October 10th at 7 p.m. Part of the 2026 Coliseum Concert Series, presented by the Arizona Lottery.
Why do all the monsters come out at night? Why do we sleep when we want to hide?
All-time low. All seats are reserved and include fair admission. Get your tickets now at azfair.com. Join us for a state of wonder.
It's the Bullfrog Spa's Labor Day Hot Tub Sale, happening August 20th to September 8th. For a limited time, receive up to $3,500 off MSRP and a free audio upgrade, valued up to $1,600 on select hot tub models. For even more savings, ask about our factory-certified scratch and dent inventory. Visit your local Bullfrog factory store today, or design your perfect spa online at bullfrogspas.com. Sale ends September 8th.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
Bad credit, no credit, bankruptcy, who cares? It's the Labor Day credit forgiveness event at Tim Hovick Santan Ford. This Labor Day, we want to get you approved and back behind the wheel. Right now, qualified buyers can get 2.9% APR for 84 months on select new 2026 Ford F-150s. Bad credit, no credit, past credit problems? Bring it. Our team is ready to work every angle to get you approved. But move fast. The Labor Day credit forgiveness event is happening now at Tim Hovick Santan Ford. With approved credit, restrictions apply. Select vehicles only. See dealer for complete details.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Off turn number 4, green flag goes in the air.
Races under the lights on a Saturday night in Daytona.
Let's see if the intensity picks up again like it has all night on these restarts.
Where the final spots in the chase will be decided.
Here comes Joey Logano off turn number 4. The checkered flag is waving.
It's the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
This Saturday at 3:30 p.m. over on KACG 1440.
You know, we're going to do something to close up hour number 1 of the show that has me a little nervous. Producer Evan really wanted to talk about something on the show today.
I don't know if I really wanted to. I just brought the story to your attention.
But it's just a hard left turn from everything that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks on the show.
No, I know. But
you want to talk about a team and a sport that we haven't talked about in weeks.
I didn't even say I wanted to talk about it. I just said, like, hey, have you seen this story?
Well, and the worst part about it is the story is really interesting.
It's very interesting.
Which is why we're going to talk about it at 11:45. I just don't know how receptive the audience is going to be to us discussing ASU basketball in the middle of August. But, hey, we're going to roll the dice, and that's what we're going to do to close up hour number 1, and we'll see how it goes. But just know, if you don't like it, it was producer Evan's idea. If you love it, it was my idea. That's how I want it to be remembered.
I don't like how this is shaken out.
Well, that's how I want it presented to the audience. Now, something that's going to have to be presented to an audience is Ketel Marte's return to his teammates in a couple of days when they open up a series against Philadelphia. He is scheduled to return to the team then, and I never played sports at a high level. Okay, I played high school soccer for a couple of years. That was about it. That is where my athletic career came to an end. So that's the experience that I can draw on. And I can tell you with certainty that I played on my high school soccer team with guys that I did not get along with outside of the white lines of the soccer field, did not get along with them. Was not seen with them hanging out on a Friday night when it wasn't soccer season, right? You didn't catch me with those people. We did not get along. But when we were on the field together, we put those differences aside and we played the sport. And so maybe that's what's going to happen here with Ketel Marte and the Diamondbacks. I don't know. But all I can say is I don't think he can just walk back in on Monday and act like everything is okay. There's going to have to be some level of accountability because I'm sure there are people in that room, in that clubhouse, that are done with Ketel Marte, that want nothing to do with Ketel Marte. They don't like that he left them high and dry last week in Boston and basically cost them 2 games of a season that it could come down to a game or 2 that determines if they make the playoffs or if their offseason starts earlier. Okay, there are guys in that room, and I don't know this, I'm just guessing, that are done with him.
There has to be.
But they would be willing to put their differences aside for the
For
common
what's-
goal of trying to win a championship, trying to make the postseason, and trying to win a championship. But they're going to need something. They're going to need some accountability. They're going to need some level of mutual respect that Ketel Marte gives this group. And so I don't know how easy it's going to be on Monday. It's going to be fascinating to see. And we're not going to be in the room, so we're not going to know. But it's going to be asked. Torrey's going to be asked about it. Players are going to be asked about it before and after the game on Monday against the Philadelphia Phillies. I would pay a lot of money to be a fly on the wall on Monday. Like, I would seriously pay to see what that meeting is like between Ketel Marte and the rest of the team. Because it could be, Ketel apologizes, everybody tries to move on, they try to play, or it could be some people speak their mind.
I'm really curious to see if we will ever get a report on just who kind of spoke in the meeting. Was it just Ketel? If other people jumped in, how receptive they were to the apology, who let their opinions be known and wanted to, air out a grievance or whatever you want to call it. I want to know all of those details. I don't think we'll ever get them.
I think we'll get some details.
Yeah, who spoke.
I don't
maybe.
think it will be right away. I think this is probably an off-season type story. Maybe it's months down the line. Maybe it's a story that we get in spring training next year, if we have a spring training next year, where we look back. Maybe we get more details after the Diamondbacks potentially move on from Ketel Marte in the wintertime, if there is a deal that can be made, if that's the road that the two sides choose to go down. I don't know. I can only speak to my experience. I played with players in sports that I did not get along with, but it's not like we didn't get along because that player left me high and dry in the sport. If that happened, I think that's a harder mountain to climb.
Yeah, it's harder.
That was just we didn't get along off the field in our personal lives, and so that wasn't. But if we were good up until this point, and that player just decided, I'm not going to show up for the biggest game of the season or one of the big games of the season, and then came back 2 weeks later, yeah, I don't think I would be able to just let that roll off my back and just move on with the season. What's going on here, man? Why did you leave us high and dry? I would like some level of an explanation.
It is a different. I'll give it to you this way: there are people in this building that, and not even in this building, but there are people you'll work with that you won't love outside of the building, right? There are people you'll work with in any field that you may like them in the building, but you don't hang out with them outside of work. But the minute that person becomes unreliable at work, it now changes how I do my job.
Right.
That's what happened here.
Right.
It is, separate the rooms for a second. This is work. This is personal life. This is now somebody being unreliable at work and feeling like you cannot rely on them in your job situation. That's the conversation we're having. This is a coworker becoming unreliable now.
Yeah, and Torrey gave the roadmap, I think, the other day when he was asked about Ketel coming back, of what this was going to look like. And it's listen, the responsibility here does not fall on anybody in that room not named Ketel Marte. The responsibility solely falls on Ketel Marte. He's the one that has to walk into that room. He's the one that needs to be accountable. He's the one that needs to, discuss whatever his teammates may or may not want to discuss with him about what happened. It falls on him. It doesn't fall on Torey Lovullo. It doesn't fall on Corbin Carroll. It doesn't fall on Geraldo Perdomo. It doesn't fall on anybody else in that room. The responsibility for what happens on Monday, if Ketel Marte does walk back into that clubhouse, solely falls on Ketel Marte. The responsibility is his and his alone. So I don't want to hear about Torey Lovullo or any of the other players. It's on Ketel Marte what happens on Monday. How he chooses to handle it, how he chooses to explain himself to his teammates, how he chooses to reassimilate with this team in the middle of a playoff run falls on him. His teammates.
And him only.
His teammates don't owe him anything after what he did last week.
By the way, I'm expecting somebody in that room to kind of rip him a new one.
I mean,
I don't want to say I would be shocked if it didn't happen, but I would be a little surprised if somebody in that locker room or somebody in that clubhouse does not let him hear it.
Doesn't let him know how they feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I don't know what the ground rules are going to be, right? I don't know what's going to be discussed in the lead up to that happening. And again, it's all supposed right now. We don't know if Ketel Marte is officially going to come back on Monday. That's the plan, but we'll see. We'll see what this ultimately looks like. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, I know it is football mode, but did ASU hit a home run with their basketball hire? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Another NAU football season begins this Saturday right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lumberjacks as they look to start their 2026 season with a win over Eastern Washington. With head coach Brian Wright at the helm, the Lumberjacks look to reach new heights this season. It's NAU football versus Eastern Washington live this Saturday afternoon. Pregame at 1 p.m. and kickoff at 2 right here on KDUS AM 1060, online at KDUSNC.com and the KDUS app.
My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
It's the Bullfrog Spa's Labor Day Hot Tub Sale, happening August 20th to September 8th. For a limited time, receive up to $3,500 off MSRP and a free audio upgrade, valued up to $1,600 on select models. Visit your local Bullfrog factory store today.
Organic and grass-fed.
Yes, chef.
Responsibly sourced seafood, never frozen.
Yes, chef.
At Sprouts, every cut of meat is handpicked for flavor, freshness, and quality worthy of the chef at home.
Yes, chef.
Sprouts Farmers Market.
Did you know SRP is a not-for-profit utility? So what does that mean for you? It means everything we do is done with you in mind, like offering flexible rates, payment plans for every income level, and best-in-class reliability. It also allows us to make decisions that benefit our community. As a not-for-profit, SRP prioritizes power, water, and you. Find savings, reliability, and more at srp.net/value.
New season, new space. Unlock major savings during the Living Spaces Labor Day event and level up your home aesthetic. Discover curated looks for cozy living rooms, trending styles for dining areas, and peaceful bedroom retreats. Plus, transform your patio into a luxury resort with premium outdoor pieces. Get 60 months of special financing with your good credit and enjoy free shipping as soon as next day. Your dream home is closer than you think. Catch these massive Labor Day event savings only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Again, it takes a lot for us to take a hard left turn and to talk about college basketball in August. But producer Evan did share a story with me today that I think is worthy of a discussion. And it was a story on CBS Sports that was discussing the best coaching hire of the 2026 cycle. And I'm not going to drag it out. Randy Bennett of Arizona State got 32% of the votes for who was the best high major coaching hire of the 2026 cycle, and he was number one on the list with his 32%. And I'm just going to read you some of the quotes that the story puts out there about Randy Bennett. Quote, "This is probably the first time in a while there isn't a surefire answer on a question like this, but I'll go with Randy Bennett. He is simply the coach that has done it at an extremely high level the longest," end quote. Here's another one. Quote, "Proven program builder, has won for a long time, stayed in the region, really impressive pickup," end quote. Third quote, "His teams always play winning basketball. Old school fundamentals. His teams play with no ego and tremendous spirit. Also, his deliberate style tempo makes them difficult to play against," end quote. Those are three standout quotes for a guy who is the number one choice in the who was the best high major coaching hire of the 2026 cycle, 32% number one on the list. 100 coaches were asked this question. 32%. That means 32 of them. If we round to 100, because it's roughly 100 according to the story. 30 plus said, "Oh, ASU Randy Bennett, yeah, that's the best hire out of any of the high major programs in college basketball." That's telling. That's notable. Again, we got a long way to go before ASU basketball starts, but when something like this comes across the desk and you see a national publication say, "Hey, ASU did a pretty good job here," and you see quotes from other coaches that says, "Man, they've got a good coach here," you stop, right? It makes you pause and go, "Oh, we should probably talk about this."
Yeah, this is a story that I read this morning that I was like, wow. You know, you and I believed in the Randy Bennett hire as much as anybody, and then to be kind of solidified or verified in that, when you're reading this story, you feel pretty pumped about what ASU basketball can do. And on top of this, this was a story big enough when you talk about best hires across the sport in today's college basketball, with some of the movement and college athletics in general, with some of the movement we see, to see ASU at the top of the list, that's something you have to talk about.
I mean, this is a cycle that had Michael Malone go to North Carolina, had Will Wade go to LSU, right? I mean, there are other big names on this list. And Randy Bennett got the top spot, 32%. I'm excited to see what Randy Bennett is going to be able to bring. I think the discussion there about his style is an important one. He is going to bring a different, unique style to ASU. And again, it's all about raising the floor of this program, right? The floor that we thought we were getting with Bobby Hurley never really got there. And so there needs to be a reestablishment of that floor, and to go out and get a guy who has done it for a really long time at a mid-major and has been able to create a really high floor and now is going to have more resources, is going to be in a bigger conference, is going to be able to recruit to that conference instead of needing to recruit to being a mid-major program, is able to recruit to Tempe, to Arizona, the ties that he has here. It's just all, you put it all together in the soup and you just feel really good about it. And so to see the validation on a small scale here in this national piece, just I thought was interesting. I thought it was telling.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they, used the term program builder, because this program has lost its luster, has lost its excitement in recent years. And you can see it in just how many people show up to the home games, the kind of environment they get. So they're going to need kind of a program builder to step in and put together the pieces that have kind of fallen off in recent years.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a reestablishing of a floor, right? The floor of, hey, we're going to make noise in the Big 12. You're going to hear from us in the Big 12. We're not going to be a cupcake that everybody just walks over, right? That is what Randy Bennett is brought here to do, and I'm excited. I'm excited. I think for the first time in a couple of years, right? I think basketball season has rolled around the last couple of seasons, and you're like, all right, is this going to be the year, right? Like it was almost like you dreaded asking the question because you almost knew the answer ahead of time.
You always knew the answer, and you would get excited because you would get these recruiting classes, but it never really never fit.
You got excited because, yes, the recruiting classes were always at least decent. And, again, you always, I think, in the back of your mind thought Bobby Hurley could be a great head coach. You thought to yourself that could be the case. And so you believed that there was always a chance that they could do it. And so that's why you still ask the question, despite the mountains of evidence piling up telling you that it's probably not going to work. It's refreshing to go into a season feeling a little differently about things, right? You're asking questions and you're asking them not knowing the answers. You're asking them because you're excited about finding out the answers. You're being inquisitive rather than just asking a question for the sake of asking a question, right? And I think that's how a lot of us feel. At least that's how I feel about Randy Bennett being the head coach. And clearly, to other coaches around the sport, ASU got themselves a good one. That should get you excited about another era of ASU basketball. If you didn't like the segment, if you didn't like talking ASU basketball in August, blame producer Evan. That's who you blame. 480-864-1060 to file your complaints. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. We got a dueling draft. More on the Diamondbacks, but we'll start hour number 2 with a little buy or sell. We'll do it next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
It's the end of summer sale with Zero Res. Whether you're looking to clean up before or after a barbecue, or you're getting ready for the new school year, Zero Res has you covered. Carpets, tile, hardwood, rugs, upholstery, air ducts, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. So it's time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. If you haven't tried out Zero Res, or it's been months since your last deep clean, then now's the time to call. Right now you can get your entire home Zero Resified from Phoenix's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner. And you get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. You can also take $175 off your air duct cleaning. Listen, Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google. You can trust them. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResPhoenix.com or call 480-507-2419 and ask for the KDUS special. Spell it backwards or forwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
You're invited to a very special evening with Boz Scaggs, live in concert. Rhythm Review Tour 2026. Boz Scaggs performing all the hits and more for one night only. Live at Mesa Arts Center, Saturday, September 26th. Boz Scaggs, live in Mesa, Arizona. Get tickets now at mesaartscenter.com.
By the time August rolls around, you've stopped being surprised by the heat. You walk outside, you get in your car, and wait for the AC to catch up. And at the end of the day, the one place you need to be cool is home. Your AC has been running since May, morning, noon, and night. And when it stays hot overnight, it never gets a rest. It just keeps grinding until something gives. At Gettle, we've been doing this for over 85 years. We know what a summer like this does to a system. Call us and make sure your home is the one place the heat can't follow you. GOETTL. We'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
This is Arizona's biggest name in gaming. Whether it's the brilliantly brand new White Tanks or the always spectacular West Valley right down the street, we've got you covered with the hottest slots and tables, state-of-the-art sportsbook, dazzling dining like the legendary Morton's The Steakhouse, entertainment, and more. The brand new Desert Diamond White Tanks and Desert Diamond West Valley.
An enterprise of the Donna Automation.
When your auto insurance shows up, every call, every claim, every day, that's a win. J.D. Power has ranked AAA #1 for auto insurance customer satisfaction in the Southwest 2 years running. Get a quote at AAA.com/quote. Visit JDPower.com for details.
The KDUS AM 1060 app is brought to you by Law Bear Auto Accident Attorneys. Hurry to lawbear.com.
That's lawbear.com. The bear has your back.
Of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060, streaming on the free KDUS AM 1060 app, and you can watch us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. We start hour number 2 of the program with the hottest sports questions in the Valley. Buy or sell. The Mater D of buy or sell. Producer Evan, take it away.
It is always me. Welcome to another
Now, when you say it is always you, what do you mean by that?
It's always me leading by herself. Nobody else leads by herself.
It's a great point by you. Because when you're not here and I'm just doing the show by myself,
Nobody does buy or sell.
There is no buy or sell. When I'm not here and it's just you, there is no buy or sell. Buy or sell requires the give and the take.
It's both of us.
Both of us. By the way, just want to let everybody know. This Friday, 2 Fridays away from the first NFL look ahead of the season. I just want everybody.
This Friday, next Friday.
Right. This Friday and next Friday. The last 2 Fridays without the NFL look ahead.
Oh, man.
In your life.
That's going to be awesome. So, okay, wait. Can we do this real quick?
Absolutely.
So, typically we did the NFL look ahead in our 3rd segment, correct?
The NFL look ahead is usually an hour 1 thing, yes.
Yes. But then we had buy or sell right before the end of the hour.
Correct.
But the NFL look ahead could be long.
It could be long. And so
I don't know if we can put it right before the end of the hour.
No, I think the look ahead is going to have to go at 11:30. So daily special, 2nd segment, look ahead.
Look ahead.
4th segment, buy or sell, picks.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot.
Buy or sell segment, then picks.
We got We got a lot to do on a Friday. We've got daily special. We've got look ahead. We've got buy or sell. We've got picks. We've got leftovers. That's 5 segments right there.
We're only going to need 3.
Without discussing, ASU or previewing the Cardinals game specifically. I mean, there's a lot to do on a Friday.
Yeah, we only really have one room for a segment.
This is where the people who want a 3rd hour tend to have a strong point.
The crowded Friday show.
The football Fridays are a little crowded, okay? There's not a lot of room.
That's a very good point. I can't argue with that.
In the summertime, on a Friday, there's room. You can kick your feet up. You can relax.
You can relax. We got tons of time. This Friday, we're going to have tons of time.
Right. You've got the window seat. Middle seat's empty. You spread out. Have a good time. Football Friday? No.
We're jamming it in.
We are checking bags at the gate. That's how limited space we have on the flight.
Please, this is a full flight.
This is a full flight.
If you're in Group 6 or
we're
after,
checking the bag, okay?
We're going to be checking your bag. Complimentary, of course.
But we're checking it to your final destination. That's what a Football Friday show is like.
50-50 gets there when you check at the gate.
No, I think I've had a higher success rate than 50-50.
I don't know if I've ever checked the bag at the gate.
Oh, all the time. All the time. I'm the first person up there.
Really? Mm-hmm. Volunteering?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not for me. I don't like the waiting. Once you get off, I want to get right to my ride, my car, whatever it is.
Coach says you can't add a 3rd minute to a 2-minute drill. Let's go. It's a great point. You just got to keep it moving. We don't have a lot of room. Get the play in. Let's go. There's no time for debate here.
With that being said,
let's do it. Buy or sell.
Let's get to buy or sell. Eduardo Rodriguez will have a quality start in a Diamondbacks series win today.
Ooh, so okay. All right. There's a lot going on here. Because quality start, Diamondbacks win? I'm not so sure. I'm going to sell the take. You might get one of those things. I don't know if you're going to get both of those things.
Quality start and Diamondbacks win. You don't think we get the... I think they're coexistent. Like, you either get neither or you get both.
I mean, Brendan Pfaadt didn't have a quality start yesterday and the Diamondbacks still won.
It's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, how many times has
I can't argue with that.
How many times has Erod had a good start and they've lost the game? A couple times.
I'll tell you. Not much, because currently...
But enough times to where it's happened.
I got to find this stat again for you.
That Braves game earlier in the season is certainly one.
Yes, that is one of very few, though.
I think it's like 3. It's like 3 or 4 times this year it's happened.
I want to say they are 20 and 6 in games that Erod starts.
Okay.
20-6 in games at Erod.
So 6 times they've lost when he's been on the mound this year.
Out of 26.
I understand that, but I'm going to assume a couple of those were quality starts. So they don't always go together.
It could be a boat.
Could be anything. It could be a boat. No, I will still sell the take.
Okay. All right. Lame.
I mean, what do you...
Carson Beck won't play Friday.
And I got to tell you, maybe we do this tomorrow. When will we see Carson Beck if he doesn't play in this final preseason game? Because the entire summer I've been like, oh, he's going to play in the preseason. He's going to follow the Jackson Dart model. He's going to be the backup. And by Halloween, he's going to be the starter. That feels more difficult now, that path. I don't think he's going to be the backup. He's going to be the QB3.
Certainly going to be the QB3.
Which means it's going to take a little bit longer, I think, for him to become the starter of this team.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's very fair.
And I have said this. This draft pick is going to be directly graded on how much we see him play this year. I didn't like taking a quarterback where they took him if he wasn't going to play. That is
how much he plays.
That is a premium draft asset. I just did a whole segment earlier in the program about the wasting of these top 100 picks. This one may be the biggest waste of them all if he doesn't play much this year.
This will be the year where Monty Ossenfort gets credited for drafting a Pro Bowl.
I mean, who's it going to be?
Michael Wilson.
It's not the name I thought you were going to say.
You said I was going to say Jeremiah Love?
No, I thought you were going to say Paris Johnson.
Oh, it's another option as well. Those are probably the only two options. Unless, Walter Nolan becomes good.
Well, right. Here's the other thing. He wouldn't get credit for Trey McBride. He didn't draft him.
He didn't draft Trey.
I mean, Paris Johnson.
The question is, can Paris Johnson, Michael Wilson, Marv, or Jeremiah Love be a Pro Bowler?
Yeah, can one of those four be a Pro Bowl? Really, really strong competition in the running back room for Jeremiah Love.
We're really having a hard time determining if one of these guys can be a Pro Bowler. Again, I stand by it. Shedeur Sanders was one last year. It's the easiest club to make. It's like the Basketball Hall of Fame. Like, if you're half decent in the NBA, headed to the Hall of Fame. And if you're half decent in the NFL, you're a Pro Bowl.
I mean, Shedeur Sanders was a Pro Bowler last year, and he's not even the starting quarterback for the team the following season. Can I derail us for a second?
Of course.
Coach says the Cubs radio announcers sure thought that the game was over last night. Nice comeback win.
Did they say something?
Well, no. This is going to get me in trouble. Because this is an accusation that I don't want to make.
Oh, no.
Code, why are we listening to the Cubs radio announcers?
I'm sure they posted a clip.
Okay. That's an explanation I can understand, but I just did a whole thing yesterday about supporting the team, and we got Coach saying, the Cubs radio announcers. Were you listening to the Cubs broadcast?
Maybe he was.
Instead of listening to the Diamondbacks broadcast? Diamondbacks radio broadcast is a very good broadcast. I listen to it quite a bit, driving around.
I'll tell you.
I'm just, again, don't want to make the accusation. That's where my mind went.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Sorry, you can continue while we wait for the answer.
Yeah, I am interested on Code's answer because I think it's a very good point. It is a very good point, but I'm sure somebody posted it somewhere. I am 100% sure that somebody posted it somewhere.
Okay.
The Diamondbacks will start to get more fans if they tie or if they catch or pass the Padres.
No. I made this comment yesterday. They were 2 games out of a playoff spot. 85% of the building on Monday was Cubs fans. You think if they were in the playoff spot, it would be different?
Yeah, I do.
I don't. I think it would have been the same breakdown.
Maybe not for this series, because this is the...
I think a suspension is in order. You know what?
No, I like it.
Breaking news sounder, please. I need it.
I'll be honest with you.
Nope.
If
you don't have to agree with this. That's fine. That's fine. Coach suspended for the rest of the week.
No.
He's out. No.
Code.
Nope. He's
overruled.
No. You can't overrule the fearless leader. He is suspended for the rest of the week.
Code.
He can come back on Monday.
Code.
Nope. No, I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it.
I like that move.
Listens to the radio broadcast for the opposing team.
If anything, it's only in support of us, Code, and I appreciate that.
Nope. Sorry, won't do it.
Are you really?
That's just,
I think that's the most loyal thing Code's ever done to this program.
Listen to the opposition, the opponent's feed.
Yeah.
No, I know who has the radio rights to the Diamondbacks. You can listen to them.
Code, you're here for the rest of the week.
If that's what he said, if he said I listen to whoever the Diamondbacks play because I support you guys over the other guys, then no suspension. But that's not the way he framed it.
You're confusing listening with rooting for, which I agree with. He's not rooting against the squad. I think it's listening to all the different MLB announcers. I like it. I like the move, Code. I stand with it.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you listen to the Braves broadcasters?
No, but they're not very good.
Would you listen to the Mets broadcasters?
Yes.
I don't know. I think
I love when Keith is wrong. Like Keith's very funny because he doesn't, he likes to bash the Phillies and then the Phillies kind of stick it to him.
Well, I will say it's kind of become a bit now where every time the Mets play the Phillies, they bring up some of the things he said in the past, and he has fun with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is outside the line. I'm going to stand by the suspension.
I vetoed by the producer of the program. If I get one veto a year, this is what I'm using it on.
You want to use the veto right here?
Right here.
All right, Cody, use the veto. You can stay, but I don't love it.
I got no problems with this at all.
Okay.
Absolutely no problem. This yeah. Torey Lovello. You don't even know where I was headed with this. You sold to start. So,
all right, let me
he's
hear
done
it.
a nice job with the team this year.
Oh, yes, he has. Yes, he has. I think he's done an excellent job with the team this year.
Well, you sold, so that's...
I'm sorry. I mean, I will be the Tory defender. I'll take all the arrows. I think he's done an excellent job this season. To the point, how about this? You ready for this? You ready to really take some arrows? They make the playoffs, manager of the year consideration in the National League.
Yeah, he'll get votes.
Serious consideration. He should get serious consideration.
He won't win because if the Phillies are in, they'll give it to Don Mattingly because he took over halfway through in a team that was way back. And in the AL, we know who's going to get it. But yeah, I mean, they could also just give it to Pat Murphy and move on.
Or Dave Roberts.
They won't give it to Dave Roberts.
What I'm saying, you could give it to one of those two established managers that have,
that team's really disappointing, I think, the Dodgers.
We're not doing this again. Your stance on what they needed to do in the regular season. I think he should get, if this team makes the playoffs, he should get serious consideration for manager of the year.
He will. I think he will. I think there are a couple really good managers who should get it.
I mean, there's a world where he should win it if they make the playoffs. Craig Counsell could win it.
Yeah, the name I come is Pat Murphy, Craig Counsell.
Murphy's won it. He's won it 2 straight years.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if there's a little fatigue there.
That's fair. He's certainly in consideration. He's going to be in the top 3. That's all I got for you.
All right. I mean, I'm not afraid to say it, that he should win the award if they make the playoffs.
No, I don't think that by the way, that's not I don't think that's a far-fetched hot take.
I think to some people it is.
He will finish in the top 2 or 3 of voting, if not win the award. To say if they make the playoffs.
I think to some people, saying anything nice about the job that Torey Lovello has done is a hot take.
But it all depends. Like, if they don't make the playoffs, he's not here next year.
Agreed, yes.
So, like, it is that kind of one game could mean everything for Torey Lovello.
I just had a late idea for a dueling draft. Do you have the list up?
Yeah.
Can you check? I don't think we've done this. I want to do most important Diamondbacks for the rest of the season.
We have not done this.
That's what we're doing today. So when we come back, a dueling draft here on a Wednesday, the most important Diamondbacks. Could be a coach, could be a player, whatever. The most important Diamondbacks the rest of the regular season. That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Lunch break with Chris Schubert.
Ketel Marte, I have not been given any information that tells me that this is anything more than him being disgruntled for one reason or another and walking away from the team. Torey Lovello was asked about comparing this year in Ketel Marte not being around to last year. Torey said, well, last year I had a heads up. That's the quote of the year. The manager of the team saying, well, this time that my player just randomly walked out on us is worse than the time it happened last year because last year I got a tiny heads up about it. Are you kidding me?
11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
It's John Holmberg here from the Morning Sickness for Lifted Trucks. Oh, I go by the Lifted Trucks, and I'm like, that's where I got my awesome Bronco, and then I got in my accident, and oh my goodness. But it doesn't erase the fact the best buying experience I have ever had for a vehicle was Lifted Trucks. I went there, I found an unbelievable vehicle I absolutely loved. Eye-catching, incredible, had all the candy on it, and the stuff that was on that car was unbelievable. Even the insurance company assessing my accident said, you've got a lot of really nice stuff on this vehicle. It was great. And Lifted Trucks also helped me value the car with the insurance company because they were in my corner the whole time. This is a great group of people with an absolutely awesome inventory of trucks. If you want to drive something that is different than anyone else on the road and you want it to be top quality and done by the best in the business, there's no one better, trust me, than Lifted Trucks. Go to liftedtrucks.com and change your driving life. Lifted Trucks. Work hard, play hard, drive harder.
The Smashing Pumpkins return. The Rats in a Cage Tour. 2 unique sets celebrating melancholy at 30 and nearly 4 decades of unruly hits and dark treasures. November 11th, Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. The Smashing Pumpkins. The Rats in a Cage Tour. Live.
Insurance can be one of those things you set and forget, but that could mean you're missing out on better options. Global Credit Union insurance brokers can review your current coverage and do the comparison shopping for you, checking multiple providers to help find the right fit for your needs and budget. Buying a new car or home? They can also help make sure you have the right coverage from day one. Start your quote today at globalcu.org/insurance.
Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The NFL's concussion problem never really went away. There's a new study published by the British Medical Journal, put the issue back in the spotlight. Researchers found that among 878 former NFL players who died between 2016 and 2021 and were examined for CTE, at least 25% had evidence of that disease. That number comes with an important caveat. Roughly 3/4 of the players who died during that period were never tested, so a true number could be higher. Football is a violent sport, but there's a difference between accepting the risk and pretending we have solved the problem. David Michaels, the former head of OSHA, has said a risk of 1 in 100 would be considered an epidemic. If the minimum finding here is 1 in 4 among those tested, you can't brush that aside. Player safety cannot simply be a talking point trotted out when it's convenient. If the NFL truly believes protecting its players matter, now's the time to prove it. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance. Scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals. But Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really start to come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that helps you keep what matters most, money. No hassle, just confidence that your coverage is customized with savings in mind. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent.
At DraftKings, we're all about responsible gaming. Sometimes you got to know
when to hold 'em. There are no locks or sure things, so know when to fold 'em. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Deshaun Watson, that fans, you are forced onto them by ownership. They sort of have to root for you. That doesn't mean that they will. Now, the injury and booing you, okay, you should never have that happen. Why don't you just say the following? I hope to turn those boos into cheers. I understand why they would be frustrated. I want to be able to play and show people that I can play. Don't play victim here. Like you're tone deaf.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
It is a Wednesday, which means it's time for a dueling draft. And our topic today, Producer Evan, a last-minute change. We were debating a couple of things pre-show, and I decided to take a left turn and go with something completely off the board. So our dueling draft topic this week, after I lapped the field with you last week, in our ice cream draft, is drafting the most important players, coaches, members of the organization on the Arizona Diamondbacks the rest of the way. I believe I have the first overall pick.
You do.
I think I'm going to keep it, but I'm always interested in hearing offers if an offer wants to come
I don't think
in.
I'm going to make an offer to you. I'll be very honest.
Not interested.
I just like where I'm at.
Okay.
And, yeah.
No interest in...
Not at all.
Not at all. All right. I'll just take Ketel Marte and...
Okay. Yeah. I think it's the right pick, but I was okay with you taking it.
And it's not really because he's important production-wise, although he is. But it does feel, and I think even you, somebody who thought he played his last game for the Diamondbacks against the Braves, would admit, he's coming back.
He's coming back.
And so his reemergence into this clubhouse, into this team, is going to impact things down the stretch. And I don't think it's a 1 or a 2 game bump when he comes back next week. I think throughout the remainder of the season.
I think the original comeback could not be a bump. It could be an original negative at first.
No, sorry. What I meant is that it's not just going to be a 1 or 2 game blip where Ketel Marte returning has an impact. The way his teammates feel about him, the situation, how he came back, isn't just going to impact 1 or 2 games. I think it will impact the remainder of the regular season. And that doesn't even include the idea that he could go out there and play out of his mind and put the team on his back and produce to a level where they make the postseason. So I get the production, but there's also the elephant in the room that is he's got to return and answer for leaving the team in Boston.
Correct.
So Ketel Marte, the number 1 overall pick. I think it's the slam dunk.
Self-explanatory. Slam dunk number 1 answer.
Yes.
I'll take the flip side of that coin. I'll take Torey Lovullo.
Okay, I will just, I don't know if you saw this. You have been placed on the hot seat for this draft.
Why?
Coach says you've been placed on the hot seat.
I mean, I just spent the entire last segment defending him.
On the hot seat for this draft. See? This is what happens. You choose your teammates wisely. You're taking Torey.
I dominated you in the ice cream draft. I'm taking Torey Lovullo. This is how this is handled is maybe the most important thing from a manager perspective. This will determine Torey Lovullo's future in managing in all of baseball, and this will determine if they make the playoffs or not. They are talented enough to stay in range of the Padres. They are talented enough to be right there when this thing is all said and done. How they handle Ketel Marte coming back is going to determine whether this team makes the playoffs. The manager's going to have a lot to do with that.
I will tell you, I think there is a sneaky selection in this draft.
Okay.
That I think would win me the draft if I'm able to get this person.
Okay. Interesting.
So huge pick for you, because I'm telling you right now, you don't take him here. I am taking him with my next pick, running the card to the podium.
So interesting. Okay. I'm going to take Corbin Burns. They have 3 pitchers right now. How can he come back from injury and affect this team? Be actually effective, and can he get out? What is that going to look like? It's going to be so important to this team and how they finish. Was that it or no?
You're almost there. You picked
Brandon Pfaadt.
You picked a player in this position group. Your reasoning is spot on. I'm going one level above. Give me pitching coach Brian Kaplan as my pick here. This guy's got to come up with a game plan for Corbin Burns. This guy's got to come up with a game plan for Zach Gallen, for Michael Soroka when he comes back. He's got to navigate Justin Martinez returning off of Tommy John surgery. They talked about how Corbin Burns may be limited to just 3 innings. Brian Kaplan's going to have a big say with Torey Lovello of, hey, this is what the plan should be. Should we use an opener in front of Corbin Burns? Should we let Corbin go 3 innings and then put somebody behind him? The pitching coach is going to have to keep this thing on the rails. He's going to have to use duct tape to keep this pitching staff together. We're going to talk about it in the next segment. What's the plan the rest of the week pitching-wise? They don't have probables for the next 2 days against the Giants. Now, yes, Torey Lovello is the ultimate decision maker. He's the final say in that clubhouse. But the pitching group as a whole is under a microscope. Brian Kaplan's the guy that's going to have to put that all together. He's one of the most important pieces down the stretch here for this team. You took Corbin Burns. I'll take the other Corbin. Give me Corbin Carroll.
It's a great pick.
That's my number 3 pick. So I think we can call it here, everybody. I won another draft. It's 3 weeks in a row now.
How? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is a crazy take.
I think it's over. I think you can close it up right now.
What
Marte, Kaplan, and Corbin Carroll has won me the draft.
So. I have the guy. They don't have a closer right now. I have the manager. I have the manager who walks in is going to make the decision on what happens with Ketel Marte. I have the highest paid Diamondback in the history of the organization.
True.
Who is coming back from Tommy John surgery.
Yep.
They have 3 starting pitchers.
True.
Could they have a 4th? That's going to be a huge question. So, yeah, I don't think you've won this draft at all.
Okay.
And I'll take last year's MVP candidate, Geraldo Perdomo. In his last 7 games, Geraldo Perdomo is hitting .308. That's the difference. That is going to be what gets this team over the hump. In his last 30 games, he's hitting .284 with a .795 OPS. He needs to be better than how he started, and he needs to be a consistent bat for this offense. They need him to be the Geraldo Perdomo of last year for at least the last 25 games.
You have one more pick?
I do have one more pick, and this is exactly how I am dominating you. I couldn't decide which bullpen arm I would like.
Oh, this is over. It's over. He's taking a bullpen arm, ladies and gentlemen. He's leaving a top 3 draft selection to me in the 4th round. Unbelievable. I mean, you're not good at this.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm taking Jordan Lawler.
Still going to get the player that I want.
Coming back from injury, what does Jordan Lawler give you? That's going to be the question. What can you actually get out of this lineup and the back half of this lineup? Can the sustained success for guys like Nolan Arenado that you got early in the year, are those going to hold up? And can you get contributions from Lawler? You got some from Waldschmidt. Can these things continue? I would have drafted Waldschmidt, but it's 50-50. They send him back down next week, so I have no idea.
He's staying. He's not going anywhere. So I'm up for my last 2.
Yes.
Give me Merrill Kelly. I mean, that's
terrible pick. He's done.
This is the steal of the draft. And
that's like drafting Zach Gallen.
Here's why.
If you take Zach Gallen,
here's why he is one of the most important Diamondbacks. Because all throughout this draft, you've been telling me with Torrey, with Corbin Burns, you've been talking about how the Diamondbacks only have 3 starters, right? Well, one of those 3 starters is a guy who hasn't been able to put 2 consecutive good months together this season. And he's a guy that has been the most reliable starter in years past for this team. Corbin Burns can come back. Zach Gallen can come back. Michael Soroka can come back. If Merrill Kelly doesn't have a good month in September, that series at the end of the year against the Padres, Diamondbacks aren't going to be in it. They need the good Merrill Kelly next month. They also need the good Eduardo Rodriguez. They need the good Brandon Pfaadt. But those guys have been consistent this season. In the case of Brandon Pfaadt recently since being recalled, Merrill Kelly has not been consistent at all this season. So Merrill Kelly, getting him back on track, having the good month. It's been good month, bad month, good month, bad month. He's having a bad August. It needs to be a good September. If it is a bad month, if he has his first consecutive month where it's bad, then I don't think this team is making the playoffs. So I will take Merrill Kelly with my 4th pick. With my 5th and final selection, give me Justin Martinez. Give me J-Mar. Wanted to make sure I picked a reliever. He's just back in the fold. I do think there's a world where he is the closer by the time this month is all said and done. Everybody knows my stance on bullpen by committee, closer by committee. You got to have a guy. You got to trust the guy. You got to go to the guy. Okay? You need to have a 9th inning guy who thrives in these moments, that lives and breathes the adrenaline that is rushing through them in the 9th inning of a 1-run game, 3 outs to go to clinch a playoff spot. You got to have a dude. Justin Martinez is that dude, and he has the stuff. This is the one thing the Diamondbacks bullpen has been lacking a little bit this season. When they had Paul Sewald as their closer, nobody was mistaking him for having the nastiest stuff in the sport. Justin Martinez, you saw it last night, has the nasty stuff. So my last pick will be J-Mar.
This is where I beat you.
So you can have Eduardo Rodriguez. You can have Brendan Pfaadt. You can have.
This is where
you can have Ryan Waldschmidt. You can have whoever you. Gabby Moreno.
You don't see this pick coming, and this may be the most important pick.
Okay.
Because when it comes to pitching staff, how's the game called?
So you're going Gabby Moreno.
I'm going to take Gabby Moreno.
Okay.
Gabby Moreno offensively this year has been a catalyst for the Diamondbacks. 303, 382, 464. He's walked 49 times. He's struck out 65 times. He's been outstanding offensively. But when you have a pitching staff who has struggled, who is going to have to fill these spots, it's most important to have a catcher who's going to be there every day and know how to handle these situations. For the Diamondbacks, it could be the most important thing to this pitching staff is how good Gabby Moreno handles these games for the rest of the year. So I'll take Gabby Moreno with the 4th pick. It was terrible that you didn't take him 4 or 5.
To recap, our dueling drafting
dominated by me.
The most important Diamondbacks the rest of the season. I've got Ketel Marte, pitching coach Brian Kaplan, Corbin Carroll, Merrill Kelly, Justin Martinez.
I will take Torey Lovello, Corbin Burns, Geraldo Perdomo, Jordan Lawler, and Gabby Moreno.
I think it's just another win for me, but
I got to be honest with you. I don't know how you see that.
I mean, we let the listeners decide.
It's 50-50 Ketel Marte comes back.
I think either way that makes him important to their ability to win this season.
But like if he doesn't come back, it just doesn't matter.
Well, and
like,
if
that's a negative.
Right, you're going to look back at it and say, "Wow, that felt pretty important."
And
so
then
I feel
I'm
like
going to
that's
say,
a good hedge
wow,
on my part.
A nice job by the manager to keep this thing afloat. Or man, for the biggest Torrey defender here, I'm surprised he didn't take him number 1.
Let me tell you, if it wasn't Ketel Marte, it was Torrey. 1-2 on my big board. So
100%.
I mean, those I think are the only 2 picks.
And then Corbin Burns was the 3rd pick.
Nah, Kaplan was the 3rd pick. That was the sneaky good selection of the draft.
It was Burns.
Okay.
Because Brian Kaplan has not done a great job with this team.
The listeners can decide if it was the 12th consecutive draft that I won, or if you got one for the
solid
first time.
final pick. Code's already drafted. He just took me.
He said solid final pick.
Yeah,
Also, Michael a couple comments ago said Chris wins again. Again, by the way, not just Chris wins. Chris wins again. Further emphasizing the point that I'm on a tear right now in the dueling
I
drafts.
think if we looked at the dueling drafts, I've won most of them.
I disagree with that strongly. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, we know the plan for today, but what about the rest of the week? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Jim Rome Show.
NFL players getting their release from the NFL and going back to the college ranks. It is absurd. However, it is not a sign of the apocalypse. It does not mean that all of a sudden now thousands of guys will be going back to college because they found a judge, a friendly judge in a friendly state, and they got what they wanted. That's not what that means, but it doesn't mean nothing. Is that convoluted? Do you know why? It's freaking convoluted.
1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday here on KDUS AM 1060.
Living and having fun in the hot summer sun can turn deadly when mixed with stimulants. Stimulant drugs raise body temperature, impair the brain's ability to regulate heat, and makes it harder for the heart to cope with extreme heat. Studies show 1 in 5 heat-related deaths have involved meth, a stimulant that overheats the body, putting users at higher risk. Be aware and stay safe. Meth and heat is a deadly mix. Visit thenewmeth.com.
Sponsored by the Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Weezer, The Gathering, live in Phoenix. Playing at Mortgage Matchup Center October 20th with special guests, The Shins and Silver Sun Pickups. Get tickets now at livenation.com. 3 incredible bands for one night only. Weezer, The Shins, and Silver Sun Pickups. For more, visit Weezer.com.
What's the best thing about the 10-piece McNuggets meal at McDonald's? Well, it's just $8 for starters. But just as important, it delivers maximum impact on your cravings and minimal impact on your budget. Consider this. The 10-piece McNuggets meal comes complete with crispy medium fries and a medium soft drink, all for just $8. Maximum satisfaction, minimal out-of-pocket. Treat yourself to a hearty, delicious 10-piece McNuggets meal, now just $8, only at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Promotional pricing may be lower than meal pricing.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jewelry business for almost 100 years, we are known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. Here are 3 things we never do. We never cut corners. Our engagement rings are made to high-quality standards, and we stand behind them with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We never buy diamonds without seeing them in person. We travel to the source, eliminate the middleman, and get first pick of the most beautiful stones. Then negotiate the price on your behalf. We never try to trick you on price. We don't mark up the rings just to mark them down and call it a sale. We offer true value from the start, so you get the best price every time. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, it's Bodie and Victoria. We started newacunit.com because replacing your AC the traditional way was stressful and expensive.
We believe homeowners should pay for their new AC unit, not a costly sales process. So we created a simpler way.
By cutting unnecessary overhead, not quality, thousands of homeowners have saved up to 50% on a new AC unit with everything included.
Make your next AC replacement simple. Visit newacunit.com today.
Save thousands, save time, buy online.
The NASCAR Cup Series. Off turn number 4, green flag goes in the air. Races under the lights on a Saturday night in Daytona.
Let's see if the intensity picks up again like it has all night on these restarts.
Where the final spots in the chase will be decided.
Here comes Joey Logano off turn number 4. The checkered flag is waving.
It's the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
This Saturday at 3:30 p.m. over on KACG 1440.
So, the Diamondbacks are underway. I know who's pitching today, producer Evan. Who's pitching tomorrow? Who's pitching on Friday?
That's the
Arizona
fun.
Diamondbacks.
So actually, it's a really fun gimmick tomorrow for the Diamondbacks. If you fly out to San Francisco and you're out there, they're going to let you start the game.
So Eduardo Rodriguez starting today. Now, if I look at Fangraphs, they have Cole Drake listed as the projected starter for Thursday and Jose Cabrera as the projected starter for Friday. Now, that's going to require some roster moves, by the way, because those guys not on the active roster at the moment.
Correct.
But then when you look at Saturday and Sunday, there's no starter listed for either of those games. Although I think Merrill Kelly will slot in there. There's a doubleheader. What is it, on Saturday? I think they're playing a doubleheader.
Yeah.
And because they're playing a doubleheader, you can call up a 27th man. And that's where I think Mitch Bratt will get called back up to make one of those starts. So that always felt like an easy fix to this. But there are 2 games in this Giants series that I don't know who's starting for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I don't know. I don't know if they know right now who's starting for them. And that's the problem. That's the worry that I have right now for this team, is that they can't go more than 3 days into the future without knowing what their pitching plans are. And do you understand the impact that that has on a manager? Do you understand the impact that that has on a team? Because imagine for just a second that you don't know. You know what, Producer Evan, let's just live in the world where it is Cole Drake tomorrow. It is Jose Cabrera on Friday. Although I don't think we've heard anything about it being those two guys, but let's just live in that world. Have you seen enough from Cole Drake to think that you're not going to need a bunch of bullpen arms behind him? What have you seen from Jose Cabrera that makes you think that you're not going to have the bullpen ready to go for those 2 games? And so it makes you manage today's game differently with
Certainly.
your bullpen. Because if Eduardo Rodriguez only goes 4 or 5 innings today, and you got to use a ton of bullpen today, and you know you're going to probably have to use a ton of bullpen in one of the next 2 days when Cole Drake or Jose Cabrera is on the mound, you don't have an off day until next Thursday. So not having 5 consistent starters, it can ruin a team. It can ruin the rotation. It can ruin the bullpen. And now Torey Lovullo is supposed to manage each day, I think at this point of the season, to try to win that day and worry about tomorrow. But is that actually how it's going to work out in practicality? Is that how he's going to manage today? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. But this is the world that the Diamondbacks are going to live in until we see Corbin Burns comes back, Michael Soroka comes back, Zach Gallen potentially comes back. Until those guys are in this rotation, it is a patchwork job for this Diamondbacks team. And it isn't just the fact that you've got 2 open spots in the rotation where you may go a bullpen game. You may go Cole Drake. You may go Cabrera. You may go Mitch Bratt. Who knows what you're going to do? And with Corbin Burns coming back, they don't think he's going to be able to immediately go out there and throw 5 or 6 innings. So any day that Corbin Burns pitches is going to basically be a glorified opener. A pretty darn good one. A guy that might be able to get you, 6 or 9 outs. But you're going to have a bullpen day those days. You can see where it becomes a problem for Torey, right? Where it feels like everything has to go perfectly for them to be able to navigate through these choppy waters while they try to get healthy and they try to find some stability in their rotation.
Everything is kind of going to have to go perfectly just until they can get some of these arms back. Because even on days Merrill Kelly starts, they're in trouble right now. There's just no right answer, and you're pushing all these buttons that you don't really know if they're going to work when you push them. You don't really know how confident you are when you push these buttons.
Right.
So I don't know what to say. There's no right answer for Torey Lovullo. You're just going to have to figure it out as it comes. It sucks that this is how it's going to fall towards the end of the year, that you're going to need to, every game is going to feel like a must win. You got to have it, and you're going to be kind of shuffling deck chairs here, seeing who's going to run out there to start a game against the Giants.
You run the risk of having 2 major problems, right? You run the risk of not having 5 starters that you can trust. And because of that, you also run the risk of overworking your bullpen.
Correct.
And while I think the bullpen has done a great job this season, considering the names on paper that are out there, right? They've been great. I still don't think we trust them to be overworked for a month and a half to try to bullpen their way into the postseason. Remember, that's just what Detroit did last year? They had bullpen games like 3 days a week. A.J. Hinch was running a bullpen game in Detroit.
Yeah, and it worked.
And it worked. Do we think this group's going to be able to do that? I don't.
I think that this bullpen is very different than that bullpen was in Detroit. Like, they had some arms that could eat some more innings in that bullpen. That's not going to work for these guys. So they got to push buttons to find how it does work. If it is stacking some of these young starters, right? Like when Corbin Burns comes back, that's down the line. Is it going to be a Corbin Burns into another starter that can kind of bridge the gap into, a setup guy or
right
a closer? Like what is that going to look like? I don't know, but we're going to figure that out day by day, and it's going to fall all kind of on Torrey.
Yeah, I mean the plan is going to be is going to lack a ton of margin for error. And that's what worries me the most, is that it just feels like so many things have to go right for this pitching staff, the starters and the bullpen, to deliver the way that this team's probably going to need them to deliver in order to make the playoffs.
And we'll see if it does.
Eduardo Rodriguez threw 22 pitches in that first inning, so something to keep an eye on. Not the quickest of innings, but it was a 0 that he put up as the Cubs and Diamondbacks are underway for the finale of that 3-game series before the Diamondbacks head off for a 4-game series in 3 days in San Francisco, which includes them being off on Sunday. Very weird way that the schedule is put together. So they'll have an off day on Sunday to potentially kind of reshuffle things, but then it's right into a series.
Why is that?
I remember there's something going on in San Francisco, I think. There's a marathon or something.
Okay. So it's a doubleheader Saturday to be off on Sunday.
Or they're off on Saturday and it's a doubleheader on Sunday. I forget what it is. Hold on. I'll pull up the schedule before I send us to break so we have the answer to this question. They're going to play Thursday, they're going to play Friday, and they're going to play a doubleheader on Saturday. So they're going to be off Sunday. So I think earlier I said they don't have an off day till next Thursday. Forgot. They have an off day on Sunday because they have a doubleheader in this 4-game series with the Giants. But remember, for doubleheaders, you get to call up an extra player. You get a 27th person for a doubleheader. And that's where I think they'll call up an extra pitcher to give them some relief. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream when we come back. It is all the stories we didn't get to here today on the show. We call them the leftovers. We'll get to them next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Another NAU football season begins this Saturday right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lumberjacks as they look to start their 2026 season with a win over Eastern Washington. With head coach Brian Wright at the helm, the Lumberjacks look to reach new heights this season. It's NAU football versus Eastern Washington live this Saturday afternoon. Pregame at 1 p.m. and kickoff at 2 right here on KDUS AM 1060, online at KDUSNC.com and the KDUS app.
It's football season, and CW7 Arizona brings the game home to you with the Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown. This week, it's Red Mountain versus Castile. So grab your favorite seat on the couch Thursday night at 6:30 only on CW7 Arizona.
This is Law Bear. Nothing ruffles my fur more than insurance companies handing injured drivers lowball settlements. Law Bear Auto Accident attorneys fight for every dollar you deserve. Hurry to lawbear.com. That's lawbear.com. The bear has your back.
The Gorillas, live in Phoenix. The Mountain Tour 2026. Performing at Mortgage Matchup Center, Friday, October 23rd. With special guests, Little Sims and Deltron 3030. Get ready to feel good all over again. The new album, The Mountain, is out now. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Got things you don't need? Goodwill can put them to good use. This summer, donate your gently used items and score a 20% off coupon for your next Goodwill treasure hunt. It's a win for your home, a win for your wallet, and a win for the community, because every donation funds local job training and career development programs. Drive up, drop off, done. Goodwill, a nonprofit, makes donating easy and accepts almost anything. Find a convenient drop-off location at goodwillaz.org today.
Hi,
Hi, I'm the VP of Play at Harrah's Auction Casino, and it's time to make your summer shine with Summer Playfest. Now through Labor Day, live music, weekly winners, and one lucky guest takes home a brand new Jeep Rubicon. With Caesars Rewards, you could win your share of more than $700,000 in cash and prizes. Summer Playfest at Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Back to wrap up today's edition of the show. All the stories we didn't get to here today, we call them the leftovers. Producer Evan has them for us. Now, Producer Evan, if you don't mind, I'd like to start today, if that's okay with you.
Of course. Love when you bring a story to the table here.
It appears, from those in attendance, Cardinals had themselves a practice today against the Green Bay Packers.
That's what I'm hearing.
Seeing a lot on social media of the Cardinals winning the battle of the LaFleurs. Okay?
I got to tell you, by the way, I read this thing this morning, too, in the morning meeting about the importance of joint practices. And it was something like for clear joint practice winners, over the last 15 years, teams that have clearly won joint practices exceed their preseason win totals in 30 of 51 seasons, 58.8% of the time. Clear losers exceed theirs only 23 of 52% of the time. I got to tell you, though, it's 44.2% of the time. When I read this story, I was like, that's small enough that what are we doing here? But 58.8% of the time, that team exceeds their win totals.
LaFleur.
Got his brother today.
Did you see the catch that Marv made? I'd like to change my buy or sell from earlier. Cardinals have a Pro Bowler. Did you see that we're getting patches?
No.
On the jerseys for players making their NFL debut.
Oh, we're getting like the MLB.
Yes.
I didn't see this.
Yes. All rookies will wear a debut patch on their jersey. After they make their debut, the patch will be removed from the jersey and placed into a one-of-one autographed trading card from Topps.
Same thing they did with baseball.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I always like it. The SEC is suspending head coaches who add pro players.
Are they?
That's what they're saying.
Are they, though?
Pete Thamel. Sources told ESPN's Pete Thamel that SEC's chancellors and presidents voted 15-0 to confirm the penalties, with LSU abstaining from the voting. The vote approved the new policy banning pro athletes from returning to the SEC was approved 16-0.
Speaking of Pete Thamel, did you hear him talk about ASU?
No.
Said he loves their wide receiver room. Says they could be a sneaky good pick in the Big 12 this year.
Yes, I don't think they're sneaky.
Well,
I just think they're great.
Well,
they're gonna be great.
They don't have a starting quarterback yet, so 10 days away.
But when you got so many good options,
I'm just saying. A lot of other teams.
I also heard, by the way, that Jake Fett looks great. He won't start this year.
Great, and that's QB3 on depth chart.
Yeah, but he's a true freshman. Apparently, one of the more talented guys we've ever had. That's what reports are saying.
That's what they're saying. That's what the people are saying.
I love hearing that. Tua to start in the Falcons preseason finale.
Congratulations to Michael Penix Jr. for being the Falcons starter week 1 of the regular season. Congratulations. I mean, you don't start the 4th preseason game if you're the starter. So congratulations to Michael Penix Jr.
That's very true. Bengals Jamar Chase says he is fine
He's
after
fine.
his injury scare that we talked about yesterday.
Everything is okay.
There was a lot of fear there. There's a lot of fear.
Everything's
but
fine.
Nobody panic. Everybody's okay. It's gonna be fine.
Everything is fine.
It's gonna be fine. So here's an interesting one for you.
You've got like 90 seconds, so be careful.
Oh, I gotta be quick.
You gotta be really, yeah.
All right. Anyway, the NFL owners approved the Seahawks sale.
So the story that you were gonna go to, you skipped. That's
we'll
what
do
happened.
that tomorrow.
That's what happened there. We're gonna say that for tomorrow. Tomorrow's edition of The Leftovers. It's gonna save it for the whole 24 hours now. Yes, they did approve the sale. The NFL also came out and said, hey, if a player gets cut from a team and they're a free agent and they go back to college, they're not allowed to go back into the draft. They're just a free agent.
Yes.
So
Which I like.
The NFL making it very clear that, listen.
Bring back the supplementals.
Listen, you get one shot at this, okay? You get one draft. You don't get to double dip and get selected again.
Can Brendan Sorsby come back?
No. I think everybody made it very clear what Brendan Sorsby was and was not allowed to do, despite his best efforts to force his way into the league. Remember that? That was fun. That was a fun couple weeks on the show. Wondering if Brendan Sorsby could be the Cardinals starting quarterback this year.
He gave us something to talk about.
Oh, yeah, we certainly talked about it. It's going to do it for us. Wednesday edition of the show in the books. Jim Rome is coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya!
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.